Hello again, it's Rick Moncher at PackerGreats.com. It is December 15th, 2021. I'm going to make my latest product video here. And as always, we'll start with the Lombardi Legends. I think when you talk about Packer sports collectibles, you can agree and disagree on what are true holy grails, but I'd bet everything I've got that every collector out there would agree on only two pieces: the 5 MVP helmet, which we'll see later, and this piece, the Lombardi Legends. So I'm going to show you a few options. You know, this only exists in 16 by 20 photos. I did about 60 photos and about 60 canvases. A few other dealers had some of these back in the day, going back 5 to 8 years ago, but now I pretty much have the only inventory of it. Let's go through it and look at just different framing options for you, different text. But as for the photo itself, I think everybody's watching this have seen these many times before, and they're just waiting until their budget gets in the right spot where they can get one of these. So this is the black frame. I think this is probably the most common one. So there's one Lombardi Legends. Now this one here is just a smaller version. You can kind of see how it's a little bit smaller if you don't want to take up too much space. It's still the same 16 by 20 photo. Just the plaques and such are done in a different way. I won't go over the signature quality very much anymore on these because there's so many of them. You can come by the room and pick out the one you want, but all the plaques showing the accolades of the players, Lombardi and his boys, but this piece is better known as Lombardi Legends. So this is just a smaller framing, also done in black. And then this version here, we did some of these in gold and bronze. You know, you could kind of try a different style so somebody can match their current collection. So this, I guess, is done in a bronze, shall we say. So you can kind of see it there, some different colors. So it's the same thing as what you see over there at the end, but just a different color scheme. Come by the room, take a look at it. This one here is the cherry wood or mahogany. Again, I don't know much about wood, but just a different look, but the same pieces you've seen before. Everything is the same, just a different style of framing. Now this one is different. I mean, it looks kind of all the same as the other ones, but I did about 5 of these where I did Jim and Paul because I represented, Jim and Bart. I represented Jim and Bart. So I did them myself in one marker and left those markers for my colleague to do Boyd and Paul. But of course they used a slightly different tone. Now, if it wasn't right next to all the other pieces, you'd say this piece is great, I'll take it. But I just wanted to point out that this one costs a little bit less. And that is because there is two guys sort of signed with one tone of marker. Let's call it gold, and the other one more bronze, but so it's a little bit different. You get the same beautiful piece at a little bit less money because of that slight imperfection. Now, go through a few other pieces here. Wisconsin Icons. Those of you who have seen my video have seen this piece before, and everybody tries to get down to a certain price on it. I've been asking $7,000 for this piece. There were 2 of them. The other one sold for $9,000. So that's all that exists. There are 2 of these. I had 5 more that Hank signed that I gave to Bart when he was ill, hoping he could sign them, but he would never sign anything. He did sign one of these canvases. It's the last thing he signed in his life and the only thing he signed while he was ill. So I do have one canvas with photos of Bart signing this exact canvas. It's done with over here with Hank in silver, and then Bart signed down here in silver because he couldn't really reach up there. But just talk to me about it. So this one here, you're looking at around $5,000 for this piece, certainly no less. It is Wisconsin Icons. It is a piece I think is going to be worth twice that asking price. It's got the information down here, the replica Super Bowl ring, and then the same things over here for Hank. And you know you're going to get a great signature with Bart, but look at this. You think that's probably what, from 30, 40 years ago from Hank? Because Hank never signs that big. But out of respect for Bart, he signed like this, which he had not signed like this in decades. a big, look at that, I'll pull back here. That's a big, bold Hank Aaron signature that was done about, I'd say about 7 years ago. This wasn't something done 30, 40 years ago when he signed bigger. So that is extremely unusual. Perfect signature quality. Wisconsin Icons is a big, look how big it is. It's a big, heavy, beautiful piece. Now, what's everybody been talking about while I've been in town this week? Everyone's talking about this piece. This is tribute to Bart Starr. I spent 2 years of my life on this piece to get it done. I don't know where you start with this piece. So we'll go down here. Cherry and I were deciding how we're going to do it. She was thinking about each player just puts a phrase in here, something to Bart. But then we thought, man, I don't know about spacing and all these players writing. I said, why don't we just put a heart and everybody puts 15. No one puts their number 15. And look at that, Aaron Rodgers' signature. Aaron Rodgers has signed his full name on 20 things. That's all. And these 20 photos. We sent the Packers, made 20 photos for me. This is the only new mintage of this photo that will ever be produced specifically for this project. And we got Aaron to sign his full name on it. He only signs AR. Even on his contracts, he signs AR. Nowhere, anywhere will you see his full name. And look at the A. You know, that's not how he does his A usually, but that's how he did it when he was a schoolboy and signed his name. It's just absolutely immaculate, the tribute to Bart Starr. We did 15 in the series, and then you see this is number 13 of 15. And the Packers gave me 20 photos, and there were no mistakes. So there's 5 artist proofs also. Now, you want to see that? Look at that. How difficult was this? I said it was 2 years because I had to get the approval, the official backing of the Green Bay Packers, the NFL home office in New York, the NFL Players Association. And you don't want to deal with those folks, boys. They want a royalty on everything. The Highland Mint, they're the company that produces these for the pro shop. And basically what that says is, hey, this is the only new mintage of this. This was done for PackerGreats.com, my company. Full photos of Brett signing. All this comes on every single piece. Look at that. So, you want something real special, real rare. There's 20 of them. There are 4 left. So I had 20 of them a few days ago, 4 left. By the time you read this, I'm sure there'll be very few left. Let's move over to the Haystack. First, for that one, I'm going to show you, I got a loose one over here. Let's get over here. I put this down here so I can, see, it was kind of rolled up. So I do have a 16 by 20 loose. People always say, well, I don't want to frame one. I want to frame it to match my style that's on my wall. Here you go. We'll show you the quality of it. Excellent. No smears, no smudging, no faded anything. I'll let you see them yourself. Where's Paul? There's Paul. Fuzzy. Jerry Kramer. So there is a very nice 16 by 20 rolled up. You can frame yourself. Let's get over here so you can see the full letter of authenticity. I didn't show you the hologram down there. It's a hologram, but this is it all up here. So that's a loose one if you want, but if you want ones all framed up, here we go. Kings of the Court, or more commonly known as Haystack. So it shows all the players. Plaque down there. Oh, you know, we got a lot of glare in the room. It's hard for me to show you everything exactly, but I will show you the signature quality here. Just so if you're interested, I don't need to be here. I live in California. I come here a couple times a year, but the manager here has my key. He shows people the room every 4 or 5 days. So come and pick up yourself a Haystack. Now, the ice bowl. Some of you may know, I bought out the entire remaining inventory of this piece. This was put together by the Biever family who took this photograph and the Gallery of Sports Art. And so I own the entire inventory of that, stored in a dark, dry place, so the quality is excellent. All of these signed by Bart Starr, numbered, Jerry Kramer, and John Biever, the photographer. So all the principles are included here. Iconic image, beautifully framed up. Let's kind of get a look at it here. There you go. So we've got that. And here's the same one, just in a slightly different style. I guess more bling, if you will. The other one is sort of the raw photo. And here's one framed up with a little bit more information, some plaques. You know, just blingy, but the same thing. Same excellent signature quality, same 16 by 20 photo. Just different framing, ready to go, ready to hang up on your wall. And that is the Ice Bowl Sneak, an iconic photo. Now, you don't have to get them framed up. I've got them here, right here. There you go. They're ready to wait for you. The same exact thing. Just look, ready to go. Pick it up, take it with you, bring it to your framer, and do it the way you want. Now, let's go on Ice Bowl photos. One way you can tell if it came from me, you know, Bart used to work with TriStar before, and they didn't really do much for inscriptions. And then Bart left them and went with me, Bart Starr and Jim Taylor, around the same time. And I was able to represent them, and I did a few things different for me that I didn't do for other local companies or national companies. Yeah, you can find these prints with Bart Starr on it like that, but you're not going to find this. I asked Bart to write in the Ice Bowl and the date down below, just to add something special, so you've got something your neighbor doesn't have. He might have this photo signed by Bart, but he doesn't have that. So that's it framed up. I've got a couple 16 by 20s. There's another 16 by 20 here. You can see this one's a little bit smaller on the left over here, but the exact same thing. Everything the same 16 by 20. I'll pull back here just so you can see that it's just a little bit smaller framing. So if you don't want to take up as much wall space, there you go. Also the same thing. There's a loose 16 by 20 you can frame by yourself. Look at that. Picture tells a story. Incredible. I also have, I believe I have one 11 by 14 and one 8 by 10 left that are loose. Here's an 11 by 14. Kind of see them all here, framed up. Don't need to go over it too much more. All excellent quality. No faded, no smears, nothing like that. There's the 11 by 14 framed up. Going to a couple other things. Hockey. I've had this hockey piece in the back of my room for a while. I used to have about, I don't know, 8 or 10 of them. I've got 2 of them left. Come on, if you're a hockey fan, give me an offer on this. I'm happy to sell this inexpensively because it takes up a lot of space. Look, it's a big piece. Compare this to what you've been looking at. It's a very, very big piece, but it is also a very rare piece because it was done quite a few years ago. And unfortunately, some of the signers, 2 or 3, have passed away since then. Some of the names around here, I'll just pause it here kind of. You can kind of look and see some of the names on there. This is not inclusive. No, that's probably like half the people on here. So it covers a whole big history and all kinds of names on it. So it's not up to date because I know the ladies have won the women's team there has won a championship or 2, and I know they're doing well again this year. So it's a big old Wisconsin hockey piece. If you like Wisconsin hockey, come and get that. Now, I want to go into the 75th anniversary pieces, both the Packers and the Bears. I'm going to start with the Bears because, as I always say, every Packer fan knows a Bears fan. And I would greatly appreciate if each and every one of you would mention this piece, show this video to your Bears fans, because this is a great value. Look at this piece online. Go online, you'll find it right now. I just saw it earlier today, $5,900 for this. Now let's move on to Visions of Glory and some other pieces here. The same image, same signature quality, just a little bit slightly different framing. So you come in, I'll point out a little bit here, but that one there, the one next to it has that sort of, I don't know, it's kind of what it is, it's beautiful. So different framing. Some of them have Visions of Glory on the top. That one does. The one on the bottom doesn't, the one on the far left over there. So that one has a little bit smaller framing if you have less wall space. All of them have exceptional, look at the bold, bright signatures on here. And what I really like about Visions of Glory is because, in my opinion, the 4 biggest names from the legendary 60s are the players that are on here. Taylor-Hornung, Bart Starr, Jim Taylor, and Ray Nitschke. Now you can argue about a few other players, but in my opinion, those are your top 4 guys. And they certainly are the ones that have really high value when it comes to sports collectibles. So there's one Visions of Glory. I like collecting these. That's why I've got 3 of them, because I think it's a piece that is, you know, is worth a lot. I love the piece. Love the signature quality. All again signed by the artist. All of them are numbered. And this one has this style. Like it. This one over here. I don't know if that's mahogany or what that is. Cherry wood. Something. This one does not have the top Visions of Glory written on the top like the others do. But in terms of signature quality, there you go. Beautiful piece. Visions of Glory, featuring the 4 key names of the 1960 Green Bay Packers. Now, I always come to my Bears piece because I always tell you guys on my videos, every Packer fan knows some Bears fans. And I don't care if people are saying, oh, Rick, man, you shouldn't have any Bears stuff on this video. Well, you know, I got a wife and 4 kids, so if there's Bears fans out there and they have the right disposable income, well, they're friends of mine, that's for sure. Now, look at this piece, though. Done in the Bears colors. And look at it, because I'm going to look at the, over here, we're going to look at the Packers, once I move the stuff out of the way, the Packers 75th piece next. But I kind of actually like the Bears just as much. I think the color scheme is just beautiful. The framing is excellent. But the names on here, I'm going to hover over here and hopefully you can see the name. Let me all close in on here and you can just go through the names. If you are a Packer fan and you know a Bears fan, please forward this video to them, because it really is a who's who of the Chicago Bears. The biggest names have signed this, the very biggest names. Because this was done, remember, like 26 years ago? Man, it was done a long time ago. And now most of the players who've signed this are deceased. Most of the players on this Bears piece are in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it is a real beautiful, special piece. So please, do me a favor, forward this to your Bears fans. Now, maybe they don't have, they want it rolled up. I got to ship it somewhere. Hey, no problem. I got some loose prints right here. They're all exactly the same. So you can get them framed up here at my room in Milwaukee. I don't know if I want to ship something that big. We can offer delivery, maybe in the Chicago area for a modest fee. So there's there. And I even got a signed Dick Butkus piece. So if you truly are a Bears fan, I'll throw in. You buy one of those, and I'll give you the Dick Butkus for free. And these pieces, go online right now. You'll find this piece online for like $5,900. You know, I can sell most of these pieces here because I bought out the entire inventory. Most of them I can sell for less than half of any price you'll find online. Not on all of them, but I can give you a really good price. Now, here's the Packer 75th anniversary piece. Let's go down here on the names too. It's the same group made it. Gallery of Sports Art, who does phenomenal work. They work directly with the Bears and the Packers and the NFL to produce these pieces. And I bought out the entire inventory of this piece a while back. Let me go in here in the names. Hover over here so you can see it, hopefully. Let's see the quality there. I think the video speaks for itself. That's pretty good. They got Favre here when Favre was only in the league, 3-4 years or so. So somehow they kind of anticipated he would become a great player, and he did. So that was kind of risky putting him on a piece like this with all these legendary players before he was a legendary player himself, but it worked out pretty darn well. That's the Packers 75th anniversary piece. And this piece, getting them from me, look, there's 750 of them. You can see this online, and nearly all of them have faded. The signature quality has faded. And that's because when this piece came out, I believe it was the paper they used wasn't coated properly. So the pieces I got, which is about the last 40 of them or so that existed, they were kept in a professional storage place. So never saw light, and then they were coated with something, and that's why the ones I have never faded. Beautiful pieces, UV protected glass on there right now, so come and get it. And there's the same one. You got to print. We put it on some board there, but it's the same piece. So if you want it rolled up and shipped to you so you can get it framed up yourself, no problem. I can do that. A couple little things here. These are beautifully framed pieces. And I'm going to show you the Lombardi one there too. But there's a piece in the Packer Hall of Fame, some multiplayer piece. And these are the original sketches that were used for the piece. Yes, this is not a copy. That underneath there, under the tape, is the original sketch. The original sketch for Bart and their signatures. Gorgeously framed up. They're small, you know, small little pieces like having an 8x10 frame piece. But having these great players with their signatures, there's a history to that. I don't want to get on here, but you know, how that was used in the Hall of Fame. But really cool piece. Let me put in over here. This is signed. This is a piece signed by John Biever. If you're looking for a Lombardi piece, just a classic, beautiful piece. So the framing on here, I wish I could show it better. But just really classy, really elegant, inexpensive. So pieces that you can add to your collection without spending too much money. Now here's a piece I got with a collection. You know, I buy out these collections, especially during the pandemic. I bought out quite a few collections, six-figure purchases. And then sometimes I get stuff like this thrown in and I have no idea what it really is. So there it's, this looks like it was signed by the photographer, the original photographer. So if you're a Jim Taylor fan, there you've got Jim Taylor and Vince. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I think, you know, for the Taylor fan, this is great because it doesn't cost much. Vince Lombardi and Jim Taylor, Wrigley Field, gives the date, and appears, my guess is it's signed by the photographer. Maybe it's somebody famous, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, when I don't know much about pieces like that, I give them away rather inexpensively. So if you're a Taylor fan, let me know. Now, some more multiplayer pieces here we're going to go through here. Here we go. Let me back up here so you can see this one. Again, this is sort of the Hall of Fame backfield pieces we're coming up here that have Starr, Taylor, and Hornung. Signed by the artist, numbered. I'll keep just going through these pieces here. Some of these I'll try to show the framing a little bit. There's Jimmy's signature. Back in the corner over there, you can see it's signed. I got to kind of get down in there. Signed by the artist, Danny Day, I believe it is. There you go. Another multiplayer piece. Another Hall of Fame backfield piece. People like to say it's the only backfield where the quarterback, the running backs are all in Hall of Fame, but I don't believe that's true. I believe there was another team or two, you know, 80 years ago or so that had it. It's got the usual bling that I like to put onto the plaques and the information. Let's go over to the signatures. People like to say, oh, they got good stuff, they got good product with great signatures. I think mine speak for themselves there. So if you want a nice big 16 by 20, beautiful piece waiting for you at the room. And here's a cheap piece because it's a quality. Isn't quite up to my standards here. You can see this is another piece I got in some collection, auction, I don't know. There's Jimmy Taylor. There's Paul Hornung. Bart signed with a different color marker. Or it faded, which could be there. It could be a blue that faded. But you got Vince in the place. So if you wanted to, you know, maybe you're just starting your collection and you're not willing to put forth a lot of money, but you'd like to get something just to start. This is a piece I'd be willing to part with for very little money, relatively speaking, of course. Looks like that's about 16 by 20 right there. Now here's three pieces that I like because there's something different. Great framing. Great signatures. There's 60 of these that exist. I got these signed myself. So they all have the signature. This is a sketch. And they all have Hall of Fame with the inscription. So there's continuity. They all wrote the exact same thing, along with the information about each player. So here's one. You see it's a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger because the framing has added some more to a different style of framing, different color. Maybe you want a little bit more bling, and this will have it for you. Same thing. So you see the framing on that beautiful piece. Now over here, it's the same one that we just saw, just a sort of a different color scheme. Come down to the room, look over personally, take the one you like. There you go, 3 of them for you. Here's an unsigned piece, signed only by the artist. So an unsigned piece, ready to go up on your wall. Beautiful piece. Again, starting your collection. Here's a nice piece, beautiful piece, the Packer sweep. Now let's go to a different era of the Packers. Signed by the artist also, numbered. Again, an unsigned piece, so not going to cost you too much. Here's some old classic 60s stuff. This has got a wrap on it, so it's really hard to see. But this is one of those pieces. There's a lot out there. Okay, Bart signed it for us, Greg. You kind of go through it. I'll go through it. I don't want to take too much time. You can see who signed it. But what I don't like about some of these pieces is they got these areas where some people had passed away, of course, and couldn't sign it. And to me, I, of course, prefer to have everybody on the piece. But this sure has a lot of people. So if you like it, let me know. I'll have manager Mike here at the room take some photos of it. Here's some playing cards. Player cards here. The 1965 or 66 Super Bowl I champions. So there's all your playing cards of all the players. So we won't go in there, but there's your team for the 1966 championship team. All in our cards. Nice piece, not expensive because it's not signed. Here, of course, not signed, but if you want the whole team there. Again, let's go over here. There is the 1962 World Champions. This is kind of a fun one. Like they're kind of goofing around, putting their fingers up over each other's heads. Kind of rare to see that. Jimmy Taylor smiling, horning. There you go. And over here is something really unique. I don't know how I get some of this stuff here. I probably shouldn't have all this stuff, but this is, if you're a fan of Johnny Blood McNally, this is his original graduation certificate from whatever it was. Grade school, I don't know. I should probably read it better here, but I forget. I once knew more about it, but if you're a Johnny Blood McNally and you want something unique, it's pretty good size. I mean, it's not a small thing, but that is his original graduation certificate, signed and dated, all that, whatever. Let's see what it is here. New Richmond, Wisconsin. You folks who are big fans of Blood McNally will know more about it. Well, let's start doing some Bart Starr jerseys here. We got a few here. But of course, if you're watching this video, I usually post below the video in the text everything that's sold. So please look and see what's sold, because Starr jerseys, especially of this quality you're going to see, they don't last long. This one I've had in my last video too, because I want a pretty penny for it. I think it, you know, when it comes to Bart, it really doesn't get better than this. Let me just zoom in on to show you the quality of the signature. So you've got a bold signature, the really nice jersey, the framing, first class framing. This is a very heavy piece, a very big heavy piece. So you're getting an excellent Starr jersey, excellent signature quality, excellent framing, beautiful piece, a centerpiece of your collection. Now over here, another jersey. This one done a little bit differently. It's a little bit more bling. I would call that a little bit more conservative. And this one a little bit more sort of in your face, just because it's got the photo and it's so big. I mean, that's pretty big and heavy, but look how big this one is. So this is a very big jersey. Now this one's all wrapped up, so it's going to be, I'm going to try to show you. So even through the wrap, you can see the quality of the signature. So it's big, it's got good framing, it's very nice, it's a very nice piece. I can kind of get up here, so we got black there. So if you want on this one, got the photo down here. So a big in-your-face framing job on a Starr jersey. And then I've got one here. There's always somebody who says, you know, I got to get my own framing because I got other jerseys. I want to match it. So here you go. This is the real deal Mitchell & Ness jersey. Very, very, very nice jersey. Top of the line quality. Let's move in on here. You see it's nice, bold, beautiful signature. There you go. So you want a big, beautiful Starr jersey to frame yourself? There we go. Let's get some other Bart Starr. Here's an 8x10. I've got some canvases like this. Here's an 8x10. So kind of a narrow piece. Maybe it's something you got a space on the wall. It's not too big, and you'd like something really nice. There you got Bart-Vince. I'll move this tape. You can see the signature quality. So a beautiful 8x10 framed up. Yeah, I'll just show you that, a little bit of it. Sort of a nice uplifting, positive quotes associated with Vince Lombardi. Here's the two pieces that go together. The certificate of authenticity is framed up in the matching frame. So it's kind of a cool thing to put together on the wall. You can kind of see that whatever goldish, let me see what we call that bronze framing over there. Hard to see it, so, but that's the certificate of authenticity that shows what number it is. There we go. This is number 91 of 550. There's Bart Starr's signature, signed by the artist. So most of you know this piece. There you go. A nice framed up with a little bonus piece there. You got a complete, fill up a little wall. Now here's one that I showed in my last video and it's still here. I don't know why. This is one of my favorites. I'm not really emotionally attached to many pieces here, but we've got a lot of Bart Starr pieces here to look at. And here's one that was in my last video, but really nobody ever saw it. I think people go to my videos and they go to the certain mark on the video where they can see Lombardi Legends or 5 MVP helmet or an ice bowl sneak. But here's a piece. It's a smaller piece, will fit anywhere, and it's one of the most unique pieces I have. See, this piece is the Lombardi postage stamp piece. There's a postage stamp right down there. And they made a whole bunch of them. You see they're numbered here. They're numbered by the artist there. But you can get 1,000 of them, but you're only going to get one that has this. Thanks, Coach Bart Starr. So a really unique piece, a one-of-a-kind unique piece that's small and will fit anywhere. It's very cool. And I'm looking forward to that to going to a good collector because it's a really cool piece that doesn't really get seen by people who come to the room. And it's something that they really should look at. Here's a very nice one, a framed, beautifully framed 8x10. It's just a simple Bart and Vince. There you go. Beautifully framed, so inexpensive, but a beautiful, elegant style. Great look. And here's a piece over here. I finally looked at it right before I started shooting this video. I said, I wonder what this thing is worth, you know. Some of these pieces are kind of unique. Well, there's the Bart Starr signature across an 8x10. And it's one of these Highland Mint pieces. I'll pull back here. It's number 99 were made. It's number 20 of 99. Let's zoom in there. And you can see there, 2 24-karat gold-plated medallions and autographed photo by the Highland Mint. So there's one gold medallion down there. Let's see if we can see it. And there's another one up over there. So this thing probably has more value than I thought. I thought it was one kind of chintzy, you know, collectible thing. And I started looking, I said, this is actually pretty nice. Here's an unsigned Bart Starr piece. Another one of those pieces that you know I got in a collection when I bought a whole collection because I have no idea what it's about. Signed by some artist who I don't know. Could be a famous artist, could be valuable. I have no idea. And I'm not going to take the time to find out, to be honest, but there's a piece that won't cost much. Now we're going to look at 3 pieces that have the same print. Collectors have all seen this print. Because how many? There must be, oh, there's 550, so actually not as many as I thought. So they're all signed by Bart. All of them are beautiful signatures. All are signed by the artist. It's just a difference in framing. Let me kind of zoom in there. There's black. So slightly difference in framing between this one and this one over here. This one's a little bit thinner. You can kind of see on top a little bit thicker, a little bit thinner. Slightly different style of black, but still black on green. It's very, very similar. Same quarter piece, just a different number. You can tell me which one you prefer. I'm not sure if you're going to see any difference whatsoever in the piece or the signature. And they're in general about the same size. Now this one is different because look, it's the same one except it's bigger because it's got all the bling. All the bling. The replica Super Bowl I ticket, the replica Super Bowl II ticket, and of course the really cool looking replica rings. It's hard to see this with the glare in my showroom here. But if you want the same thing, you can go with more conservative or the more blingy. You see how that's some kind of box-like thing. What is that? I don't know. I don't know if that's shadow box called. I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, you guys will know better than me. But there's 3 of them, all different styles. We're going to look at a couple now, Legends of Lambeau with Brett Favre and Bart Starr. Slightly different. This one's a little bit bigger, but it's you know, it's the same overall thing. Let's just look at the signatures. There you go. Legends of Lambeau. Very bright, you know, flashy. I like all the colors in it. They're quite nice. Here's one over here. If you want to see, I'll just show you the different numbers. And maybe you'll see a difference in the signature quality. I don't. Bart. Brett. Signed by the artist. So in terms of framing, I guess that's a difference here. The bigger one has this mahogany look, and this one is in black. So depending what else you have on your wall, there's a couple Bart Starr pieces. Okay, let's start over here now with some more gritty pictures. The 1965 NFL Championship, known as the Mud Bowl. So here's 2 pieces. They're just going to be slightly different. This is kind of more of a silver gray and black. This one more of a gold. You know, it's kind of the same thing. Just kind of depends on what other pieces you have in the coloring. And in the photos, you can kind of see them already. So here we go. Paul Horn and Jerry Kramer, Fuzzy Thurston. These were the last things Fuzzy Thurston signed. This signing, we had it. He hadn't signed in years, and they said he wasn't going to be well enough to do it. I went up and visited with him. Got him in a great mood. He signed 120 things. Yeah, he made a few mistakes, but overall he did a great job. About a half hour later, we went to see him again at his care facility because we forgot to do a book, but he had already kind of went off in his own way and never recovered and passed away a few days later. He was quite happy with us. We had a great time with him. There was a reporter for the Milwaukee Journal, and it was a front page story on the Milwaukee Journal. This signing and the other signings I did with the reporter, I took him with me for a week of signings with my clients. And so there we go. There's that iconic Mud Bowl picture with the guys. And this one over here is the same exact thing. Hopefully we can see the signatures. Just different. So the same thing. They're pretty good sized pieces. And they're inexpensive. That's what's really nice about the Mud Bowl, because you know Jim Taylor and Bart Starr were the really expensive players, so the pieces cost more. And Jim Taylor was the rarest player. He didn't sign for many years until he went with me, and I got him signing again. But he was very stingy on signing. Now look at the size of this one. Now these are pretty good size, but look as we look down here. This is a mammoth one. This is a picture that you could put on your wall, grabs all kinds of eyeballs, and won't cost you that much. It's, you know, for maybe a beginning collector who wants a real prominent piece, a real wow piece on the wall where people walk in and say, oh wow. Here's a thing that won't break the budget, and it's a cool piece. I mean, obviously that gritty 1965 Mud Bowl, the NFL championship, Jim Brown, last game. So little blingy things. It's a beautiful piece. Again, something that you could put on the wall and grab eyes without breaking the budget. Now here was a game that was also called the Mud Bowl. It wasn't quite as significant of a game. And this is Lombardi guards, also full of all the mud. You've seen this picture before. These are just slightly different. I'll show you here, Lombardi's guards. Let's look at the signatures, looking good. All the bling. So the main difference between this one and this one is a little bit extra, a little bit more color to it. Let's show you the signatures there, if we can get without this this glare. So nice signatures, but this one now has the replica Super Bowl tickets. And it tells the history of Fuzzy and Jerry, as that one does too. Just slightly different. Two nice pieces, slightly different framing. You see you got kind of that cherry wood and you got black here, so just decide what works best. Nice pieces to go with a bigger collection that won't cost a lot of money. Now I've got a number of these prints. I've got them unframed also. We'll show them a little bit later. So let's go down here. Signed by Taylor-Hornung, this limited edition. Excellent signature. Obviously these were done so long ago when Paul had a great signature. Signed also by the artist. So there's a beautiful limited edition Taylor-Hornung piece. Now let's get into a little Ray Nitschke here. Here's an 8x10 photo. Nice quality signature with the replica Super Bowl tickets, the replica Super Bowl rings. So lots of bling, lots of color, very kind of bold, bright. And there's the bio on Ray. So kind of a cool piece, a little bit more modern with all that bling. And here's kind of old school here. Some of you know about this piece. It's a limited edition piece also. Route 66. Signed by the artist also. And look at that. I want to try to get this good because that is just a beautiful, crisp, bold Ray Nitschke signature. And that is the Route 66 piece. Some of you are familiar with that piece. And then over here and back there is the COA stuff. I'm not going over the COA stuff on these pieces. And here's a 11x14. Kind of real old school Ray Nitschke. There's your signature. And there's a framed up 11x14 ready to go, very inexpensive. Now we're going to get into a little Reggie here. I don't have that much Reggie left. I'm going to keep this in there. You've seen these before if you know about Reggie. He signed a whole bunch of these. There you go. Excellent quality, bold, bright Reggie signature. It's inside the plastic. I'm not going to take it out. And here, a beautifully framed piece. If you want to, just ready to go up. Beautifully framed, ready to go up somewhere. Let me get in there so you can see the Reggie signature. No fading there. That's bold. That's bright. That is an excellent Reggie signature. But inside here I got some other stuff too. Let's see what we got in this box. Lots of framed 8x10s. This came from a collection I bought. I'll put some of them I'll put out. There's Bart Starr. all the bio information on Bart. So I'm going to put these back in the box and just kind of go through them. So we've got Bart there. There's a whole matching set, you see. There's a whole bunch of them. And there is Willie Wood. There is Ray Nitschke. There's Fuzzy Thurston. Jerry Kramer. I'm not going to zoom in on any of these guys. Paul Hornung. Willie Davis. And Herb Adderley. Where's Herb's signature? Oh, there it is down there. There we go. You buy the whole collection, you got a whole wall filled up with nicely framed up 8x10s. Now let's get over to Reggie. Here's an unsigned one by Reggie. This is his triple threat. I had some of these signed, but I've sold them. Faith, Hope, and Love. So if you wanted a Reggie, and maybe you weren't in the, the budget to get something, the really high end. This is frame, signed by the artist and numbered over here. So if you wanted a triple threat, a really cool piece, inexpensive because it's not signed, but at least you got something Reggie, a beautiful Reggie piece. We all love Reggie. Now here's another one. I showed you one of these earlier. I had this, I think, for Bart Starr or somebody. Where I don't know the artist. I don't know anything about it. Don't really know much about this piece. It is numbered there. There we are. So there's a Reggie piece. Not going to cost much because I don't know anything about it, and I'm really not going to take the time to learn about it, to be honest. Now I've got two of these. This is a signature series. This is Willie Davis and Reggie. One's a little bit bigger, you see, because it's got more bling on the bottom, so it's a little bit bigger framing. We'll go over both of them then. You can just, I'll get close here. You got the bio of, I'll stop moving this tape. You got the bio on Willie, little bling, and on Reggie. Where's Reggie's signature? There's Reggie. There's Willie Davis. There you go. Now let's go over to this one. What number is that? They're all numbered here. So you can kind of tell me which one that you're most interested in when you see the video. Let's go, where's Reggie? There's Reggie's signature. There's Willie Davis. Signed by the artist, both of them. There you go. Now let's get over here, do a little bit of Favre here. Here you go, the old Fireman Carry here. On the back there, I'll show it all there with Greg Jennings, the record catch, 421 touchdowns. There we go. So there's a nice photo waiting for you. The kid one, classic Brett Favre. There you go, 8x10. So there's a 8x10. Here's the same one, but done up with all the bling again, with all the information. The replica Super Bowl ticket, the replica Super Bowl ring, and the quote that was on the bottom of the other one is over on the bottom here. So there you go, same 8x10, obviously just a bigger piece with more bling. Here's some Clay Matthews. Clay charges twice as much to sign now than he did when he was an all-pro, but I've had these for quite some time. Trying to get it so you can see it because it's a really nice signature. There's Clay, where he's supposedly sacking Favre. I believe that Favre got away and he actually didn't sack him on this play, but nonetheless. Some of the blingy stuff. The bio on Clay. So there's a nice big piece. That's a 16x20 at least. It's actually bigger than that. That must be a canvas that is framed because that's a really big piece. See how big it is compared to the rest? So that is a big piece. Same over here. Yeah, another canvas spread up Predator. Now look at that signature. Same thing, the bio on Clay. Predator. So there's some nice pieces there from Clay. Now I'm going to show you here the Packer sweep. Now you got to have a piece in your collection with the Packer sweep because it's such an iconic play, such a part of Packer history. So here's some. The only differences is in some color and the framing. So let's go over them here. I've got these loose also if you want to frame them up yourself. Again, rather inexpensive pieces because they don't have the signature of Jim Taylor, who was the rarest and very expensive, and Bart Starr. So there it is, a very classic Lombardi sweep. And this one is just the Packer sweep with a little bit more information there. Again, so the same piece. This one's a little bit bigger, framed a little bit bigger. You can see it's just excellent signature quality. The Lombardi sweep. So you can compare if you want a little bit bigger one, that's a bigger framing. Same one here, you see this is a bigger one too. This is just different. That last one was in blue, this one in black. So let me know what you want, black, and we'll get it for you. So again, those slightly bigger. And here's the same thing. These are really big now because they have a little bit more information on the bottom. So there you go, Packer sweep. The Lombardi sweep, just a yard gainer. You can pause that and read that. So there you go. And this one, you see, just slightly different. You can kind of see the same size, slightly different, but just a different way of framing it, where they put Lombardi sweep and the information all on one plaque. All with excellent signature quality. We're going to look at some stretched canvases right now. Some nice Bart Starr stuff. These are all, nearly all of them are 24 by 36 inch canvases. So these are only stretch. I don't have any of these rolled. There's the black one here. This one has the wrap off, as you see down there. This has the wrap on. It's gold. It's beautiful. I mean, it's just a big, beautiful gold Bart signature. I'm not going to take the wrap off because it's too much work in the room to put all this back together. So there's two options, gold and black. Of course, the Lombardi Legends. We have this rolled, one stretched here. Of course, we have the 16 by 20s framed. This image in photos was only done, I only did it in 16 by 20. Those are the only signed ones that exist, and the only signed canvases are 24 by 36. There are no other sizes that are signed. So we'll worry about that later. You can buy the room, we'll get you one, pick one out. Here is the Super Bowl I. Now, this one and over here is a Super Bowl II. This is the rare one, very rare. This one I've got, I think, 3 of these left. I'm not going to take the wrap off again, but you can see it's a big, bold, beautiful Bart Starr. Come by the room and see it, and you are just going to fall in love with it. There's gold, and there is blue. You can kind of see which one you feel sticks out more, blue or gold. These are only stretch. I don't have them rolled. Let's go back over here. This was rolled up, so this one is rolled here. Check it out. This is my favorite of all the ones because there's so very few of these. It's got the LA, this is Super Bowl II with the LA Coliseum with the palm trees in the background. Try to get the glare out of there. It's a really crisp canvas, 24 by 36, beautiful one. You'll like that. Now over to the ice bowl. Well, you know, we've looked at some of these pieces that are framed up now. Now we have, there you go. This isn't a wrap, so if it looks that good right now, and it's wrapped, imagine if we take this wrap off, how nice that signature is going to look. And remember about my pieces, all of them I had Bart write in ice bowl and the date. So there you go. A nice little extra, adds tremendous value, very unique. There's very few of them, only the ones I did have that down there. So you know those are from me. Here's a piece I put in my videos before. It's got multiple inscriptions, but it needs the right light. I can move this around so that you see the inscriptions nicely, or you don't see them nicely. It really depends on the light. So this one's going to be, even though it has 3 inscriptions, it's going to be cheaper than the other ones, just because you need to put a light on it in the right sort of fashion before this will stick out. So, and you can see if I pull back, it doesn't really pop as much. Now I'm going to go over to here, After this, we're going to do loose photos and rolled canvases, but I wanted to point this one out. You saw this frame piece earlier in the video with Hank and Bart, which is one of two. I left this with 5 of these with Bart that were signed by Hank already. He only signed this one. This was the last thing Bart ever signed. This is the only piece of sports memorabilia he signed in his nearly 5 years of illness. There are photos of it. I have them on my phone of him signing it. A nice Hank signature. Now we would like, ideally, Bart would have been over there on top too, but you know, Bart needed it close to them. And you can see the signature is still, you know, Bart Starr, better than a current day athlete, so you don't know who it is. You know that's Bart Starr. Not as crisp, of course, as his pre-illness signature, but there you go. A rolled canvas, ready to frame up. Very, very pricey. The last thing he ever signed, the only thing he signed in the last 5 years. Okay, now let's go some mud bowl pieces here. You saw some of the frame pieces now. Here's the, we'll just do on one of these, the, there's another one over here. So these are all ready to go. This one's bigger. You can see this one right here we're looking at is a 24 by 36. This one's even bigger. And so if you want a big piece, again, starting your collection, don't really have a lot of money to dump into it right now. Well, here's a nice big piece that'll really stick out, a gritty piece that people like, that grittiness, the 1965 NFL Championship, a nice big piece that is relatively inexpensive. Here's a big framed one, The Last Ride with Jerry Kramer and Coach Lombardi. So there you go. Another nice big piece, not expensive at all. A couple Eddie Lacy's, I occasionally show these in my video, and then I never show them to people when they come. They're great signatures. Here's gold. Let me see if I can get that. And here is silver. Same image. There you go. Eddie Lacy, come by. Buy something, I'll give it to you for 50 bucks. One of these all stretched up, ready to hang on your wall. They're dirt cheap. The wrap is on here, so you can see these. They're not as clear where Eddie is because I don't want to take the wrap all the way off. Okay, let's look over some rolled canvases and loose photos here right now. Start off with some Lombardi Legends. You know, we've got this in various, you know, forms. We've got the loose photos, 16 by 20, the frame photos, which are just fantastic with that custom framing. And here are the canvases. So you just got to decide what works best for you. Silver or gold. I'm trying to get it so you don't see all the glare from the lights. I kind of got to go over them. But they're beautiful either way. 24 by 36 inch canvases. That's the only size I did these in. You better come and get one. There's only about 60 of them that exist. I probably got about 8 or 10 left in total. And once they're gone, the price is going to triple. Who's going to sell that? You know, if one of them comes available every 2 or 3 years, what's the price going to be on it? So save a few $1,000s and come by and get one. There we go. Let me just get this up a little bit so you can see it. Well, there we go. The Mud Bowl, 24 by 36 inch canvas also. Nice gritty piece of the 1965 championship. The Last Ride with Jerry Kramer. Come by, give you a nice big canvas for next to nothing. Okay, let's go over here. I'm just walking in between all my canvases here. Here's one I haven't showed all the time. I always forget, and that is the another from the Mud Bowl. Everyone sees that piece over there from the Mud Bowl, but rarely sees this one that I did because I usually forget to show it. It's rolled up on a top shelf here. So there we are. We got Jim Taylor and we have Paul Hornung. Beautiful gritty 24 by 36 inch canvas. I got a smaller version out in Santa Monica, but it's a great piece, and not many people have that compared to the other ones. Now over here, here's one. I got lots of these, and I always forget to offer them to people. So these I'd sell really cheap because I must have like 15 of these left because I never show anybody them. So there's the same one, the Packer Sweep. I showed you some framed ones earlier. There's blue. There's black. Just kind of decide what is best for you. There we go. There's some other ones over here. Some odds and ends. This piece I just got authenticated not long ago. And I like it because it reminds me of some of those Visions of Glory where it has all the key players: Ray Nitschke, Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, and Jim Taylor. And you notice these all have the Hall of Fame inscription. Not just their name, but nothing extra, just Hall of Fame on all of them. That's not signed by the artist. It's called Tradition. All authenticated. Beautiful piece. Frame it up yourself. Now there's the, that's wrapped up there, the Lombardi Legends. Come by and get a 16 by 20 photo and frame it up yourself. Here's some Super Bowl piece. I'll go through it. Now there's Favre. Let me try to get this where it's the glare from these lights above me. You guys can figure out all the names in it. I'm not going to. Too much work involved. But come by, pick this up, frame it up, do something yourself. Not going to cost very much because it's just sitting around here. Here's a piece that will cost a little bit. You can see these. You can find one online right now, but it's not signed by Jimmy Taylor. Because when this came out, Jimmy wasn't signing. He didn't sign for many years. Until he went with me. As you probably know, or I've stated, I represented Bart Starr and Jim Taylor. So I got Jimmy signing again, and signing lots of cool pieces like this. This is 11 by 14 piece. It's excellent signature quality. So there's a piece. You've seen them before, very artistic, very cool pieces, but very few have ever been signed by all three players. Now here's some loose photos. You've seen these already on my the frame pieces. You know they all have that inscription. Only mine have that. Adds, you know, certainly $200-300 of value to a piece because it makes it more rare, more unique. There's a 16 by 20. There's an 11 by 14. I might have an 8 by 10 out in Santa Monica. And here's a piece that's fully authenticated. Let's get it down there. And this is another piece where you can find some of these online, you know, go on eBay, but you will never, I'll flip this up, you maybe see it better then, you are never going to find one where all the signatures are so bold, so clear. There you go. It's a 16 by 20, fully authenticated. I'm willing to say that's the best one that exists of this piece. So come on down and get it. Now there's some more. These are the loose ones. You've seen these before in the frame pieces. There's the Ice Bowl signed by Bart and Jerry and John Biever. Here's the same one. I said we got another 16 by 20. So we got a few of them loose. Here's the pieces you saw framed up. They're also loose. Signed by the artist. So you saw these framed up before, but if you want to frame it up yourself with your own style, save a little money getting it like that, they're excellent. Here's Tony Canadeo. Here we haven't seen anything from him yet. I've got a lot of inventory of these pieces because I purchased the entire inventory of the producer of these pieces. There we go, there's Tony. You saw this one framed up before. So come get it loose, frame it up yourself. Hall of Fame Backfield, 16 by 20. Mud Bowl photo. And why not add actual ticket stubs from the Mud Bowl? That's right. Let's get right down here. So maybe you want to frame up your own piece. Well, I've got the photo. I got a variety of photos for you to pick from. Seed 17, seed 18, those are actual ticket stubs from the 1965 NFL Championship, the Packers beating the Cleveland Browns. Hey, come frame it up, add those authentic stubs. There's another Lombardi Legends, 16 by 20 waiting for you. Now, here's some odds and ends here now. The real deal Super Bowl ticket. And not just the normal $600 or $800 ticket. This is the $1,200 ticket. There's more the high rent area. So if you got a piece and you don't want a replica ticket, you want the real deal, these aren't expensive. Let me see if you can see the hologram there. So everything comes with it. This came off somebody's neck. There you go, the real deal Super Bowl ticket. I've got the real deal Super Bowl programs. So a whole bunch of them. So the real deal Super Bowl programs there from Rodgers and Favre. I got some book from Favre. This is, you know, I still haven't I don't have time to look through this to find out, but I know his mom is signing. I just don't know if it's authentic. You know, if that was part of the printed pages or she actually signed. Bonita Favre, number 4's mom, and somebody else signed it. I have no idea. And trust me, I'm not going to even take 10 seconds trying to figure out who else signed that. Here's some real newspapers from when they won the Super Bowl. You know, if you're putting some kind of piece together, you want some authentic stuff, we got it here. We're going to end this video on helmets, and we have some nice ones. Lots of people have 3 QB helmets, but look how many I've got, folks. Yeah, we're going to go around here and see some things. And I just got some of these signed by Aaron 2 days ago. I've been holding on to some of these for a long time. And look at that. That was just a few days ago. We got ourselves a double inscription. So let's go back here. Check out, we got some pro lines here. And let's just go through them again. I tried to do this, you see here, Bart MVP, and then with Aaron, Super Bowl. I try to kind of keep some continuity as much as possible. You see I have the 11-14 to match Favre's. So there you go. And I've labeled these 1, 2, 3. So if you're interested, that's the easiest way to do it. Now, I'm sure, you know, I'm going to make this video in about a week, and within a few weeks, some of these things will be gone. So there we go. That's number 1. Now, this is around the most perfect I've seen, because, you know, everyone talks about spacing and the right boldness. I mean, you can't do it. You got 3 different players, so it's nearly impossible to get all of them to space it out, to do it exactly what you want, but this has it. Bart, and I'll go around and show you. Trying to stop this glare from the lights up here, but so I'll move around a little bit. There you go. A simply perfect 3 QB helmet, just what everybody wants. That's number 2. Number 3 over here. Okay, this one here, very nice. All, you know, the boldness is all there. They're both very bright. The spacing could be better, but in terms of, you know, a lot of people say, I want signature quality. Well, there you go. Let's kind of move around here so you can see this better. Aaron just signed that, and he put it in a pretty good spot. Pretty much the only spot we could put that to make this look nice. Now that was 3. Let's go over to number 4 here. And this one I mixed it up because Favre had used 3X MVP. 2 days ago I asked Aaron to do it. But look at a nice Aaron signature. I mean, everything is relative, of course, when we talk about Aaron's signature, but he matched it just the way I asked, and there we go. And Bart, of course, Bart is always good. And this one here, if you look really close, I want to point out here, you can see right there in the line. You don't see it when you pull back, when you're looking from, you know, back here, you don't really notice, but if you look really close, you can see some little faintness on that line. There was something on the S or something over here. Oh, by the S, where the T, the middle of the T, will zoom in right there. So you don't see it back here. No one's going to notice it, but there is. It's not, you know, wouldn't be called it perfect, but it's certainly a beautiful 3 QB helmet. Let's go on to number 5 over here. So this one, they were placed in the middle. So Aaron's down on the bottom this time. He's leading it off. I mean, some people want chronological. Some want Bart and then Favre and then Aaron. Some want Bart in the middle because let's face it, he's the main guy. So you put Bart in the middle. So let's put it on there and let you see it. There you go. So still a very, very nice 3 QB helmet. Now over here, there's a nice one too. Favre's a little bit left than what would be ideal. Ideally, he'd be about 1.5 inches over. That's number 6. So if I'm back in California and you want to order these, my manager here, Mike, a lot of you guys who've been here, you know Mike, you know his son Ben, they'll help you out. And they'll find number 6, pull it out, and get it for you. So there we go. Now let's move on. Let's a Horning here. So we got the old helmets here. Look at the old school now. Let's go back here. Now this was my favorite inscription for Paul, and the coolest one. He liked it because I like to remind him, Paul had a bit of an ego, and I like to remind him that there are only 3 players in NFL history who won the Heisman, who went #1 in the draft, and are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You guys have seen my video, know who they are. Earl Campbell and O.J. Simpson are the other 2. So a beautiful Paul helmet. Look at that big signature. You know that was done many years ago. I did about 24 of these with the 3-4 inscriptions. This is the last one left here in the room. Beautiful one. Come get it. Here's another Paul one, more conservative, shall we say. Here's one over here. We've got Paul and Jim, the Hall of Fame running backs. Paul Hall of Fame 76, Horning Hall of Fame. Let's get that one out of the way. Now let's get into some really, really cool pieces. Here the Hall of Fame backfield, the full Hall of Fame backfield. Beautiful signature quality. You like that they're all bold, big. There we go. Look at that Horning. When's the last time you saw a Horning signature like that? You know, in his later years, boy, he really got small, and of course the quality went down with age. There's Jimmy Taylor, there's Bart. So there's a beautiful, beautiful. Let me just show you the insides of all these helmets. There we go. So a Hall of Fame backfield one, a beautiful one. Now, if you just saw that one, you'd say, damn, that's a nice helmet, you know. How much does that cost, Rick? Let me know, because I don't really have a price list. And quite honestly, my clients who spend a lot of money with me, I give them a little bit of a discount. You'd love that one. When you see this one, though, check this one out. This one has the full. So here we go here. Comes with this case. I don't know. You might want to eventually get rid of the case. The case is old. Got a few scratches on it, but it's got like a little story, some photos in there, you know. You can kind of see them in there. I'll go around the side here. But anyway, it's got some stats and information on the players on the front of the case. But let's lift this case cover off and take a look. This is the best Hall of Fame backfield helmet that you'll ever see, that you've ever seen before. The spacing, everything about it, equal boldness, equal spacing, the quality of it throughout. I'm holding it up. I'll try to get in here. So there's Jimmy Taylor. There's Bart Starr. There's Paul Horning. It gets no better than that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful helmet. Now, last but not least, we talked earlier in this video about there's only 2 pieces of Packer memorabilia that every single collector, every company, every shop would agree on, and that's the 5 MVP helmet and the Lombardi Legends. Those are 2 holy grails. Everything else can be argued, but no one will argue this. Let's take a look at it. I just got Aaron to sign some. We didn't have any. We were out. We now have 12 of them here at the room, so come on by. Mike will open up a box. You can look at 3 of them. Look at that. Look at Paul Horning. And everyone's a little different. Everyone, you got 5 guys signing a helmet, but you can see here what these look like. The real deal Pro Line helmet. And there's Aaron, who just signed it 2 days ago. Got all 3 of his MVP years on it. So the 5 MVP helmet, come by, take a look at 3 of them, grab the one you want, the real deal Pro Line helmets. It gets no better than this. The price has been going up for the last 3 years. It goes up. Each one of these people we're looking at right now has passed away. and you know that the demand is there, the supply. There's 300 of these made. The 4 older guys all signed them in 2012. And then Aaron signs, well, he was signing about 12 per year. We did 45 of them this summer. We sold them out. So get in touch with me. This price is going to go up. This price, I think the current price on it, it'll be twice that in 5 years or less. So give me a call and let's get one of these before they're gone. Of the 300, there are about 90 left. That's it. I'm going to have 12 now. I'm not going to have any more for a year. And then I'm going to start raising the price approximately $500 to $800 a year. So get in touch with me. Thank you so much. Let's do some footballs right now. This one's got a nice case. You see the cover here, beautiful case. So what do we got here? We got the real deal NFL football. We got some Fanatics tag on there, but let's turn it around and see who we got. There we go. We got Brett Favre, Bart Starr, and look at that Aaron Rodgers. Just see how big, if I can really get it. I mean, Aaron took up pretty much that whole panel on it to kind of match the big size we've got here for Favre and for Bart. So there you go, 3 QB football, real nice. A whole bunch of Bart Starr stuff. As you know, I represented Bart and Jimmy Taylor, so I put together a lot of multi-inscription stuff. Virtually all these were done on the very last signing Bart ever had, which was May of 2014. He would become ill a few months later and never sign anything again. There were 18 of these made. This is the 4 inscription, the max inscription football. Got a few to choose from here. I got a lot of stuff. You know, I asked Bart, hey Bart, what do you consider the most important accomplishments in your professional career? And he's thought about it and wrote down 4 things. I said, Bart, would you put him on these 6 footballs? The next time I saw him, I put him on 12 more. So we have 18 of these that exist. 4 inscription, the rarest, obviously a bit more expensive. And these are all the original. These are the old Duke footballs. These aren't any you know, Chinese knockoff or whatever, real deal. And the double inscription, the more traditional Bart Starr football that you see. We got a few of them here. Not many left. I used to have about 60 or so because the last signing he did was all my stuff for no other companies. Here's the best wishes, Bart Starr. There's some authenticity stuff. We've got a Paul Hornung here. That's on the newer, says Duke there. This is the newer ball, though it's not the dark one. You kind of want the dark one sometimes, but it's a nice Paul, you know, older signature. Jim Taylor. There's the old Duke. Look at that. There's a beautiful football for you if you're a Jimmy Taylor fan. Here's the running backs. We got Jimmy and Paul Hornung on the old Duke football. There you go. I got one more clay left. Here's a unique one here. I'll put it on the letter of authenticity, and you can see a whole bunch of players signed this. I'm not going to go over it. Reggie's the main one, of course. But it says here, you see, signature has been enhanced on Reggie. So it looks like somebody, there was probably something missing and somebody touched up on it. There's the Reggie right there. So that is all original Reggie, but someone did something to it. They, you know, maybe they wrote over something was getting weak. But there's all kinds of players on this. I'll kind of pause here a little bit. You can kind of make them out if you're really knowledgeable with the players from that era. There you go. I got some of these Reggie balls. I'll show you a couple of them right here. I think I bought 7 or 8 of them. There were about, I'll say about 16 of these or so that came out at one time. I got some of them authenticated, not all of them. They're all done at the same time. Reggie 1. Here is a, let's kind of turn this here. I'm not going to move that ball. Best wishes, Mike Holmgren. And what do we got over here? Move this around. Go Packers, Ron Wolf. That covers the footballs. Now we're going to start up on some pieces that are not in any of my other videos. These are pieces that I got, most of them, yesterday from a consignment shop I had a lot of my stuff in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I've had stuff there for 10 years. Been put away. Some of it was on display. Some of it was in storage. And they had a change in ownership. And so I took all the things from there and brought it down here. And so we're going to show you some of those pieces now. There you go. Start with a Clay Matthews Speed helmet. It's the real deal helmet. It is not a knockoff or replica or whatever. That's the real deal. And check it out. Big, bold Clay signature. Over here, people have always been asking me about Jim Taylor product. I represented Jim Taylor, but I don't have much left. And so in my other video, you'll see a football. If you haven't already, there's a Jim Taylor football with Hall of Fame that was up in that shop in Stevens Point. And so here is the helmet. Hall of Fame, and it's number 31. There you go. Beautiful helmet. Eddie Lacy. So you know it's been up there a long time, 10 years. This helmet has been up there, or 9 years, I guess, whenever it was here, when he was Rookie of the Year. Let me get it up there. There is Eddie Lacy, Rookie of the Year. Again, that is the real deal Pro Line helmet. That is not a replica or knockoff or whatever. So obviously very inexpensive. Here's something here I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. This has got, you know, it's got Bart Starr on it, and it's got Nitschke on it. So obviously the smart thing to do is probably to wipe off Nitschke. Now this is one I purchased in a collection. So it is a speed, it says speed replica, but it's not a speed, but it is a replica. It's a lighter helmet. I'll show you a little bit. It's not the heavier Pro Line. Looks like the Pro Line. But what do you do with this? You got Nitschke, you want to buy it just like that? I'll sell it to you. Another option is to wipe off Nitschke and just have Bart. And then the probably best idea is to add Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and have your 3QB helmet. That's up to you. Now, you know about the Signature Series. There was a lot of them done back in the 90s where Bart Starr, Brett Favre signed it. So here's one right here. And these are the great signatures. These are the old school, you know, 1990 signatures. Where Favre gets you a big, beautiful signature. Bart give you a big, beautiful signature. Then, of course, you got to add Aaron to it. And Aaron is a nice bold. It's, you know, relative to Aaron, that is an excellent Aaron Rodgers signature. On the back down there is the Fanatics hologram. So that is the real deal Pro Line helmet, 3QB. It's got pretty good spacing, very you know, continuity in terms of the boldness of the signatures. A nice little piece. Here's something I picked up again today. I didn't have any more of these here in Milwaukee. Beautiful display case, beautiful bat. Well, what makes this bat special? Only 12 of these bats exist. There are 2 left. And this is from back in the day when I worked with Ryan and Aaron and did the dual MVP. Ryan Braun, 2011 NL MVP. And because Ryan wrote in the NL, Aaron did something he never does, and he put in NFL MVP. So you see there, Aaron Rodgers, 2011 NFL MVP. Ryan Braun, 2011 NL MVP. Obviously, Ryan ran into some issues shortly after I completed this project, but I put away some bats. This one sat up in storage since 2012, and now it's available to you. Beautiful bat. I think that is a great investment. Those were extremely expensive when they came out, but after the issues that came up with Ryan, obviously the price dropped. And now they're making their way back up. I'm not sure if I showed this piece when I showed my Ice Bowl sneaks in previous videos. This is the one with the replica ticket. You can get this with or without the frame certificate of authenticity. That's free. So that over there, not going to cost you any more money to get it. So it's identical framing. You see there? You see there? So it gives all the information about the sneak, the principals who signed it. Also gives you a number in the lower right corner, you see. It matches the number over here. And the difference, I mean, obviously I've got all these photos in different framing styles. And this one adds the replica Ice Bowl ticket. So it really adds something extra, I think. And it doesn't cost that much more than the other ones. So you may want to consider that, and you can get the matching certificate in a frame for free. So you get a lot of wall space filled up, beautiful piece, and relatively inexpensive. Now here is a huge, perfect haystack. You will not find a better haystack than this. This one I had stored away because someone was going to purchase it. They purchased quite a few pieces and they wanted me to hold this one for them. They decided this week to go with a different piece, not a haystack. So this one is now available. It has not been available to any of my clients before. It is now. Let me just go in here. You've got Paul. Let's look at the signatures. Look at the bold, bright. No fading, no smudging. You see exactly what you're getting. And then the Lombardi phrase down below, and each, plaque for all the different players, all the bio information. And what's special about this one, other than the quality that you see in terms of the signatures, is that this is the large photo. You have found this, you can find it in 8x10, 11x14, and then fairly rare but still possible to buy online, the 16x20, but not this one. This is one of the extremely rare, very large photos. I think it's like 18x23. So it's the biggest one. So a very, very beautiful piece. I've never offered this before. It'll be on this video. So give me a call. Over here. So here's a 16x20 haystack. And this is one different framing, unsigned. So maybe you're starting your collection and you can't really afford such an expensive piece that's signed by 11, players from the 1960s. So here's a piece. It's slightly different Lombardi phrase at the bottom. All the plaques, all the information on the players. So a very, and this one they put Kings of the Court. Sometimes they put haystack. So let me pull back here. So if you want something that's really a sweet piece, beautifully framed, but can fit within your budget. Here's some canvases stretched, ready to hang on your wall, that had been also put away for a long, long time. So I've never had them in my videos. So there we go. Ready to hang on your wall, stretched canvas. Excellent signature quality. Clay and Favre. Here's a Geordie one. I had a few of these back in the day, so when I left this up in Stevens Point, it just got stuck in the back room. And haven't had Geordie for a long time, so glad to have one more Geordie left. But I sell these, less than anybody else is going to charge because they don't really fit into my brand, if you want to call it that. Here's an old one here that has sat for 10 years. So I met with Brett many, many times. Most of the time with his agent at that time, and I almost never had holograms put on my pieces when I was dealing directly. So this does not have a hologram. It's about a 10-year-old, maybe 9 to 10-year-old piece. No holograms. So I'd have to sell it cheaper because there's so much fraud out there with Favre, and anything done in the last 5 years or so, 6 years that you've purchased, it's quite iffy, unfortunately. Here's a Mud Bowl 24x36 unsigned. So if you want something, again, inexpensive to put on your walls, you're starting your collection, I've got something for you. Now here's the same one, signed. One of my favorite Mud Bowl pieces because this is the rarest one. You've seen the Mud Bowl 3-player one, which I have plenty of in photos, loose photos, frame photos, stretch canvases, rolled canvases. The 3-player with Paul Hornung, Fuzzy Thurston, and Jerry Kramer. But this is a more rare one because Jim didn't sign for so many years, and he charged an incredible amount. He charged more than Bart Starr charged to sign this. So that's why there aren't many out there, because no one would pay Jim's fees. And when I came along and represented it, I got him signing again, but still, nobody else kind of wanted this piece because they didn't want to pay that kind of money that Jim was charging me, and then I have to charge you as a retailer or end consumer, more. So it really wasn't affordable. Now both these players are deceased, and this is a rare Mud Bowl image that is a favorite of many collectors. Now, here is something that I'm really happy that I got. Yeah, I've been sold out of these. These are the rare Super Bowl II canvases. Look how bright that is, the palm trees. I mean, just a special, special piece. Let's move in here. There we go. I see right now up here there's like a line from the framing. There's a you can see me put it out here. So when they stretch it, there's a line there. You see, you pull back, it doesn't affect the piece at all, but if you move in close and you want to look at the sky, so you may want to re-stretch it, but I don't think so. I think it's perfectly fine. A rare, rare, rare Super Bowl II piece. One of the favorites of collectors. I've got one right now. It'll be gone very quick. Now, I didn't include this in my previous videos. Here's a Alabama Bart Starr jersey. So that covers a variety of things that aren't in other videos that may be of interest. Thank you.